Hi, you guys, it's Mrs. Buchholz. Hey, I'm noticing that a lot of you are struggling with assignment number 7 from this unit. And so I wanted to go through kind of how to approach this because it's a super important topic basically for the whole year. So I just want to remind you, whenever you get to an assignment, the first thing you should do is take notes on the videos that are there. In this particular assignment, again, assignment number 7, I have 3 videos. One by Tyler DeWitt. You've seen him with other videos. One by Melissa Maribel, and then the third is by me. There's one of me actually doing some sample problems. And so it's important to start by watching those videos. If you want the one that's going to get you the information the quickest, probably skipping down to this one here, which is my video, would probably be the best way to go, okay? As far as how this progress check works, I'm just going to kind of scroll down. Now, this might not be exactly the question that you would have because we get them from a question bank, but I just want to go through kind of how to set these up so that you are familiar with it because it's a little bit different. All right, so let's take a look at this question. It says, how many ounces are in 1.7 pounds? Place the conversion factors in the correct brackets and find the answer to the correct number of sig figs. Okay, so first thing you notice is the number they give you, see that 1.7 pounds, is what they put here to begin with. And then we have this bracket setup, just like you saw on many of the notes, right? You've got this little bracket. And what happens is we put values in the top and bottom of the bracket. Where they come from is from this chart. You're always going to get the numbers to go in the bracket from that chart. So as far as knowing what goes where, here's what I would suggest doing. The very first thing you're going to do is you're going to copy this label, just the label, pounds, on the bottom. And so you're actually writing this on a piece of paper before you even try to put anything in here. Okay, so on a separate piece of paper, have this written out. And now I'm going to look up at my conversion factor to find the right one. So in this question, they're asking about ounces. Do you see that? So I'm looking for something with ounces and pounds. So I see pounds in 2 spots, here and here. So I have to pick the one that I want to use. I'm going to use this one because it's going to help me get to my answer. Okay, the way this works is if you watch the videos again, one side of the equal sign is going to go on the top of the bracket and the other side's going to go on the bottom. Well, we already know that pounds, do you see how I matched my units here, needs to go on the bottom, right? So I put this side of the conversion factor, see how I'm circling it, the 1 pound is going to go on the bottom, and then on top is the other side of the equal sign, 16 OZ. And then I show that my pounds cancel. So as far as how you're actually going to do this in Schoology, okay, because you can't pull them in from up there, you're going to look at this long list down below. And I'm going to find the 16 ounces, this one, and pull it in up on top. And then I'm going to find the 1 pound and put it on the bottom. Now, as far as my answer is concerned, I would type in 1.7 times 16 and divide it by 1. And then I would round it to the right number of sig figs. So let me go ahead and get an answer for that for you. So I would take 1.7 times 16 and divide it by 1. I get 27.2. The new label is ounces. And I'm going to round that. Take a look at my beginning number, has 2 digits. So I'm going to round this to 2 digits. So I would round it to 27 ounces. So I'm going to look through all of the answers down below and look for the one that says 27 ounces. And it's right here. That is what I would put. Whoops, that's what I put right there for my answer. Okay. Let me do a couple more just in case you need a little bit more review of how to do this. So I have another one here. So again, when they give me the problem, notice how they give me the starting number here, right? And remember, the first thing you're going to do is copy that label, the G, on the bottom of the bracket. Can you start by doing that? So again, you should copy this down and write the G down there. Now my job is to find G in one of these conversion factors. So I look through this whole list and look for G. So I see a G here and here. And I have to figure out which one I'm going to use. So look at the question. It says how many ounces, OZ. So that tells me that this conversion factor is going to go in the bracket, okay? Now remember, the way conversion factors work, I'll just explain this in a little bit of a different way than I did last time, is that one side of the equal sign goes on the top and one side goes on the bottom. Now, Here's why I had you write the G. You see that, remember, we wrote the G right away, so it would cancel. That tells me that the side with the G, the whole thing, the number and the G, go on the bottom. And then the other side of the equal sign, 1OZ, goes on top. And then the G's do what's called canceling out. So as far as what I put in the bracket, again, I looked down below and I found the 1 ounce. Here it is. That I'm going to pull up on the top. And then I look for the 28.35 grams. Put that on the bottom. And now I have to get my answer. So remember, what you type into your calculator always starts with the beginning number, 83 times 1 divided by 28.35. So I'm going to get that answer. Give me just a second. And I get 2.927689 ... and the new label is ounces. So let's talk about rounding it. Okay, so we look at the beginning number. I had 2 digits. I'm going to round this to 2 digits. So I would round it to 2.9 ounces. So now I look for that answer down here somewhere. Whoops, sorry about that. And I would find that number and pull it up. Give me just a second. There we go. So I'm going to look for that 2.9. And I would pull that answer in. There it is. Sometimes it just takes a while to find it. All right, I'm going to go through one more with you, and I'm hoping that'll be enough to kind of help you try some on your own, okay? So let's try this one. All right, so again, it says how many centimeters are 9.3 inches? So notice the first thing I did for you was I copied that 9.3. Now remember, this is how I want you to approach these problems. You should be writing this down, writing down the bracket like this. And remember, the very first thing you do is copy that label, not the number in the label, just the label down here. So I'm going to copy inches down there. And now I need to find the conversion factor. So I see inches in a couple spots. Here they are. I highlighted them yellow. Which one do I need? Well, I look at the problem. They're asking me how many cm. So I'm going to use this one right here. So remember, the way this works is one side of the equal sign will go on the top of the bracket, the other side will go on the bottom. And since I already did a good job of copying my inches, do you see that? IN and IN, I'm going to put the inches on the bottom. So I'm going to put the 1 next to the inch on the bottom, and then the whole other side of the equal sign, 2.54 cm on top. And then I show my inches canceling out. So now as far as plugging it into my calculator, again, I always start with this number and then multiply anything on the top of the bracket and divide on the bottom. So I would take 9.3 times 2.54 and divide it by 1. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get that. And I get 23.622. Okay, so let's round it. Again, I was given 2 digits, so I'm going to round to 2. That becomes a 24. And my new label is now cm. So let's talk about filling those values in. Once you have this written out, again, you should be writing this out on paper, even if it's scratch paper, okay? Once you have it written out, then you go to Schoology and pull these values in. So I'm going to look for 2.54 cm. I find it here, pull that in on top. 1 inch, pull that in on the bottom. And then I'm going to look for 24 cm. Here it is, and put that over here. All right, so that's an explanation of how we do what's called one-step dimensional analysis problems. If you want me to meet with you to do more together, I'm more than happy to do that. This is a super important concept, so I want to make sure you're feeling super comfortable with it. Please let me know whatever help you need. I'm willing to help you out, okay? Good luck working. Again, I can't stress enough how important it is to write out the problem and remember to copy your units so you know what goes where.